In this video, we're going to be talking about conditional statements, specifically if-then statements. An if-then statement is a type of conditional statement with two main sections. We got an if section, and that's called the hypothesis. And we have a then section, and that's called the conclusion. So let's practice writing if-then statements. We're going to take a regular old sentence and just change it to an if-then statement. So when the bell rings, it is time to leave class. Well, the bell ringing is kind of the condition that is leading to the conclusion of leaving the class. So the bell ringing is the hypothesis, and leaving class is the conclusion. So if we write, if the bell rings, that's our hypothesis, then it is time to leave class. That's our conclusion. Here's another example. Two lines that do not intersect are parallel. So two lines that don't intersect would be the condition or the hypothesis. The result would be that they're parallel. If they don't intersect, then they are parallel. If you can write if-then statements, you can also write a converse statement. And a converse statement is created when we just swap the hypothesis and conclusion sections, or flip them, trade places. Be careful though, because the words if and then are not going to swap places. They're going to stay exactly where they are. It's just that hypothesis wording and the conclusion wording that are switching places. So we'll use the same exact examples, and we'll come up with their converse statements. So the original one, if the bell rings, then it is time to leave class. We're going to switch the blue section with the orange section. We're switching the hypothesis and the conclusion. So now it reads, if it is time to leave class, then the bell rang. And it may be necessary to alter any tenses or change the wording around a little bit so that your sentence makes more sense in its converse form. We could have also said, if it's time to leave class, then the bell is ringing. That would be also acceptable. As long as the main hypothesis is in there and the main conclusion is in there. That second example, if two lines do not intersect, then they are parallel. So we're going to swap the orange with the blue. If two lines are parallel, then they do not intersect. That's the converse statement. Coming up with converse statements is a good way to check the validity of a statement, of the original statement. And if any one of those, if the original statement or its converse is not quite all the way true or in some way false, we can provide what's called a counterexample. So that's just an example that proves any one of those initial statements false, either the original statement or its converse. So let's put it all together. We're going to take a statement. We're going to come up with the if-then statement, the converse statement, and hopefully provide a counterexample proving one of these two wrong. A bird is an animal that has wings. Let's create the if-then statement. A bird is an animal. That's the condition or the hypothesis. The conclusion is that it has wings. So if an animal is a bird, then it has wings. Let's flip that hypothesis and conclusion. If an animal has wings, then it is a bird. Which one of these is not quite always true? An animal that is a bird has wings. I think that most birds, if not all birds, have wings. They may not be able to fly, but I'm pretty sure they have wings. So let's check the converse statement. If an animal has wings, then it's a bird. Well, that's not always true. For example, an insect is an animal, and it has wings, and it's not a bird. So we can come up with a variety of counterexamples. There may be one counterexample, there may be many, it doesn't matter. But again, the counterexample is proving your statement or your logic incorrect. And we can use this process when we are looking at advertising or if we're looking at political slogans or thinking of political causes. Let's look at this poster right here. And we're going to come up with an if-then statement that it makes us think of. the converse statement, and then maybe a counterexample. This poster is saying the U.S. needs us strong, eat nutritional food. So this poster is trying to say that if we eat nutritional food, then the U.S. will be strong. We can say that a variety of different ways. One way is that if we eat nutritional food, then we will strengthen our nation or strengthen the nation. If we eat nutritional food, that's the condition or the hypothesis, and the result will be a stronger nation or the conclusion. So let's swap those two places. We'll get our converse statement, which says if the nation is strong, then we must be eating nutritional food. So is the nation always going to be strong because we eat nutritional food, or is that the only reason? No. Exercising is a way that we can be stronger and be healthier, therefore making the nation stronger. We could increase our defense spending. That's another way to make us feel safer or be stronger. So even though eating nutritional food is a nice thing to do and it makes us healthy, not necessarily the only way that we can be strong, and not necessarily a way that is going to strengthen our nation. Here's an advertisement. This is for Powerade. So let's look at this picture, try and come up with an if-then statement. What is it trying to get us to think of or persuade us to do? I think it's saying if you drink Powerade, then you'll be a better athlete. Maybe you were thinking, if I drink Powerade, I can find my power, which is true. They are saying that. But let's dig a little bit deeper than just using the words that they're throwing in front of you. We got a runner here. He seems like he's doing really well. He's got a healthy heartbeat. This is really intense and powerful imaging here, strong colors. So if you drink Powerade, then you will be a better athlete, or you will be a stronger athlete, or you will be a faster athlete, something like that. Let's take that condition or hypothesis, drinking Powerade, and the conclusion that you'll be a better athlete, and swap them out for the converse statement. If you are a better athlete, then you must be drinking Powerade. Is that necessarily true? Well, hopefully not. The better idea would be that you work out or you practice to make yourself a better athlete. So they're trying to sell you this image that if you drink Powerade, you'll be at the top of your game, you'll be a good athlete. Not necessarily true. So don't be convinced by that. So I hope that using if-then statements, converse statements, allow you to come up with counterexamples and make better decisions